Hello everyone, welcome to a very special episode of Shin's Magical Journey. Let's turn this camera up a bit because you can see my thigh. So I'm going to be dilating here and now. You're not going to see it because I can't put that on YouTube. But, I mean, I'm going to be talking you through the whole process and just showing you what it's like. I am on tramadol, which I took about 20 minutes ago. So, that helps. So, the most important thing of dilating, and the hardest part, isn't actually the dilating itself, it's the preparation. You need everything laid out before you start. Everything needs to be exactly where it needs to be, and I can't move from where I am right now. I can't. I need everything right here on my table here, which you can kind of see a little bit. You just need everything laid out. And you need a list, you need to, especially me, I'm really bad at doing specific things at the right time. This is going to be a long video, by the way, because dilation takes like fucking 30 minutes. I'll probably be chatting to you guys while it's going on. So yeah, you'll get the checklist of what you need, but I'm just telling you guys, make a list and section it. Which section you need to do where. You need to do this, which involves this item, this item, this item, this item, this item. You need to do this, which involves this, this, and this, and this, which involves this, 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 and this. So let's go. So, first of all, before doing anything else, you put on your gloves. Now this is the annoying part, because if you've forgotten to put something somewhere, and you put on your gloves, you have now wasted a perfectly good pair of gloves because they've gotten other stuff on them. You can't really, go around and pick up a bottle of water or that's been lying there for 2 weeks. Like that's going to totally destroy the medical integrity of the gloves. I'm sure medical practitioners are going to be cringing their ass off at this because this is still pretty mediocre practice, but it's probably the best you're gonna get. I think I'm doing better than most people would, and that means that you too can do better than most people would. Excellent. Here is the dilator. This is the medium dilator. You can see here that we've got the inches marked on this side, and I'm 7.5, so that's where I need to get to right now, today, here and now. Next is going to look an awful lot like sex. You get condom. I think there's a little slip in here. Again, like I shouldn't be handling this stuff with gloves, but it reaches a point of impracticality. And at the end of this entire thing, you use a substance on your vagina that is, like, absolute medical grade, destroy anything that could ever possibly cause harm to it. Now, unlike with sex, you want to not leave the semen, what's it called? Residual something. You want to not leave that, because that can mess things up. Now what you want to do here is you want to roll the condom up to your actual range, right? So this way, without reading the shitty little numbers, I know exactly where I need to get the dilator. Now, I'm a gutsy bitch, so I'm going to roll it a little bit further, up to 8 inches. And, because, don't tell Saborn, but I'm trying to get to there before I'm completely healed. Which is a bad idea. You shouldn't do it. It'll slow down your healing. But it is something you can do. Next, we get the lubricant. They use something called QC here, lubricating jelly. Now, I've been having sex a while, and I've been having anal sex a while. Here are some words of advice. Be fucking generous. and leave a little dollop on the tip. So, leave everything aside, you can deal with that afterwards. Get this thing all lubed up. You also want non-sexy thoughts. You also want to empty your bladder and your colon, your bowel, before you do any of this. Otherwise, stuff is going to get in the way, and it's going to be harder than it needs to be. Do a little bit of wetting at zip. That's pretty good. Now, use one of your lubed up fingers. Find the hole. For all you people that have been men for a lot of your lives, it's going to be tough at first, but it's around there somewhere. Here it is. I've got a little bump on the inside that I'm not too sure about. Don't know what's going on there. And you don't want to try really hard to stretch it out with the finger. Like, you're mostly just saying, hey, something's coming. And keep your legs straight. That is something that has been stressed to me by everyone, is keep your legs straight as hell. I'm a little bit on the messy side today. I walked far too much yesterday because I'm an idiot. Use your mirror, by the way. They give you a little mirror. Use that. And use that to help you find out. Help you guide your journey. It's probably going to be covered in lube by the time I'm done with it. It's fine. Straight legs. Now, you want to remain super calm. You want to be still as the mountain, as deep as a coursing river. I forget the rest, I'm sorry. And just take it slow, because you don't start the dilation clock till you are at your maximum depth. Anyone who's done anal is going to be really familiar with this stuff, which is a bonus. I suggest that you practice that at least a little bit before you go off to have SRS, because the relaxation techniques, the general sort of mindset of it, all that stuff pays off immensely. I knew today would be a tough day because I did so much yesterday, but I am at about 7 inches. My maximum depth is 7.5, and as I said, I'd like to get that to 8, but gotta be realistic. And especially when it comes to, if you're trying to increase your depth, don't just say I'm 7.5 and try to put 8 in. Get it to 7.5, and then push it a bit more than every few seconds. Especially during dynamic dilation, which I'm not up to yet, so I'm not going to give you guys any advice on. I'll probably do a separate video on that one once I'm up to it. Alright, that is at depth. That is at approximately 7.3 inches. So now what we do is we get the mirror out of the way. Again, can't show you this stuff. And we get the tab. We have this little tab thing. I'll show you a bit of that. I'm sitting on the other half of it, and you just pull it up here like this and hold on to it to secure this in place. Personally, I like to still push on the dilator a little, just at the base of it, just to make sure it's going in the right direction. Then it's again getting pushing against that growing wall of flesh. And that's it. I now wait for 30 minutes. Try not to laugh. Try not to cough. I haven't sneezed during this yet, but I don't imagine it's a fun time. In fact, I would probably imagine that the correct course of I've actually been meaning to ask about this. I would imagine that the correct course of action upon feeling a sneeze coming that you cannot suppress is to straight up just pull the dilator out, sneeze, and then put it back in. But we'll find out. How much this hurts is really, really down to the user. There was one girl who came in here for her first 3 dilations, first 3 days of dilation. They were agony because she is a professional athlete, a runner, and her muscles aren't gonna take that shit. They're not gonna deal with that. Fuck right off. And, you know, other people have a really easy time with it. I've so far had an easy time with it. Last night was the first painful one because I'd been far too active during the day. And I had for the last 10 minutes of the dilation, I had what felt like a burning blade sticking into my skin. Surprisingly from the outside. Surprisingly it felt like it was around the, just around like the edge of the inner labia. And it was agony, and I'm sitting here, I feel sorry for my neighbor because I'm sitting here trying to get out the last 10 minutes like, I am the dragon, I am the destroyer of worlds, I will overcome all that opponents me. Giving myself these fucking Game of Thrones-esque inspirational speeches. Once your dilator is fully in, you can move your legs around a bit. In fact, it is slightly encouraged because it will prevent them from getting too. I don't know. It helps. I was told it helps. But more than that, like anything that you can do to loosen your insides and to just relax. I shouldn't be talking. Talking doesn't help. Deep meditative breathing helps. I want to help you guys, and I'm still early in the process where it doesn't hurt too much, so I figure I can. I'm going to cut off this video as soon as I'm done either talking or dilating, whichever comes first, so I guess I should say some more. So once you're done with this, you then need to, and remember, you need everything nearby, right within reach of here. You need the mirror, you need the clock if you don't have like a clock on your phone or laptop, you need the lubricant, you need a condom, you need all of that, the dilator itself, the mat, the tarp, I guess you'd call it, that goes on the bed, and there's a mat that goes on top of that that's meant to collect most of the gunk, and you know, the tarp goes under that just in case. You know, you get a bunch of mats, but you only get one tarp. So if the tarp gets messy, you have to wash it, and that's a pain in the ass. And alright, so yeah, that's step number 1, is doing all the dilating. And by the way, it took me 10 minutes to prepare. So I started this video, and then 10 minutes later, I was at depth, which means that dilation started. So, you know, this is a 2-minute noodle situation. Like, 2-minute noodles don't take 2 fucking minutes to cook. You have to heat the water, you have to boil the water, that takes like 3 or 4 minutes. Then you put the noodles in, and then you like make all the flavoring stuff, and then you mix it all together. That shit takes like 7 minutes. Fuck off. So yeah, even though it's a 30-minute procedure, it took me 10 minutes to set up, to get to depth, to do all that stuff. So I will be finishing either when this video is at 40 minutes or, you know, when it would have been at 40 minutes if I end it sooner, which I probably will at this point. I'd probably rather be watching Archer than just talking to you nerds. So yeah, once that's done, you hop in the shower. You get a syringe. Don't worry, not the needle type. It's an actual, syringe, and it's a tube that pushes fluids out of it. You use, in the case of Saporn's clinic, you use bottled water because the water in Thailand is apparently fucked. You use bottled water. You get 50 mils of that, and 3 times you douche out your vagina. You do it a 4th time while adding 5 mil of betadine. And then you wash. At this point, you can shower if you want. It's probably a pretty good idea to do that. If whenever you shower, it's a good idea to take the shower at this point of your day. By the way, once you move on to dynamic dilating, you have to do this 3 times a day. 2 times a day is not fun, and 3's I'm not really looking forward to it. It's literally just gonna be most of my day. And it's also a lot more involved and potentially more painful. Blah blah. Ooh, we're up to about 8.7, I think. Yeah, so you use the syringe 3 times, 4th time with the betadine. Am I saying betadine correctly? Betadine? I don't really want to grab the bottle with these fucking lube-streaked gloves. Anyway, will do. This one hasn't seen a bit of lubricant, so I'm gonna take that glove off. You only need one. Is it betadine? It is betadine. I was correct. So yeah, you I've got lube on my shirt. Got something else on my shirt. Don't know what that is. Yeah, so betadine, blah 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 blah. This is why I bought a bunch of cheap as possible shirts before I came here, and that's all I packed. There's a bunch of other trans girls here who bought like, dresses and fancy stuff, and I'm like, you're gonna ruin those. I also bought an outfit yesterday. Yesterday, I told you guys that I did something irresponsible. Me and another one of the girls went out when we really shouldn't have. We really shouldn't be going anywhere beyond the hotel on our first week. But we were both feeling really well, and I don't regret it. But we went to this big central shopping station in Chonburi, and they were having some weird, like, miniature con, like this big Japan themed day, and I got 2 gorgeous, like, cosplay-esque outfits for a grand total of 160 Australian, which is stupid, because, like, these are full outfits. One of them is a very elaborate top with a tartan skirt and a pair of striped socks, and the other is this, like, 4-piece, like, jacket, shawl, shirt, dress monstrosity thing that is just absurd, and I'm so in love, and it's so pretty in them. And I think one of them also might be the school outfit, or one of the school outfits from Persona 5, which I have yet to play. Please don't spoil it for me. But I recognize the little skull icon that has on it, and if I've accidentally bought a Persona 5 cosplay outfit, I'm going to be even happier. I'm sorry, I went on a huge seek there. After you use the syringe, you just wash down, you shower. After that, you need to use just a little bit, just a tiny little bit of Hibber scrub on just the whole region, on everything that's been worked on. And you only need to use a little, and you need to wash it off very quick. This stuff is like the mother of all, like, anti-everythings. This, like, I think it's probably classified as an acid, but it burns, it burns germs, it burns viruses, it burns skin. So, I pushed the dilator a little bit when I giggled there. So you apply that, and then you wash it off very, very quickly. And then once you're done with that, once you're out of the shower, you get back down here. You're not done yet. And you get this little tray, which you also want next to the bed. So that's yet another thing that you need to have, before this all started, have prepared and put in its correct place. You get a little tray and a pair of, of tongs, of little snippy things, and you soak that in betadine, and you just apply that to the 3 scar wounds, which will be along your vagina, which will be 2 along the mons, the outer labia, 2 sort of scar lines, and then of course the central line itself, the central wound. And you just apply betadine throughout that whole thing, and then you apply a cream called Silvex, which is to stop the burning of all the chemicals that you're using to stop the healing, the non-healing. I don't fucking know. It's this huge balance of like throwing oil on fire and then water and then oil and then some more water. It's like it's a complicated process. So yeah, then you apply Silvex to just the central wound, including the clitoris. Apparently, you should be really diligent about always applying the Silvex cream to that, for whatever reason. All the nurses, including Saporn, they tell you a lot of things to do, but they don't quite tell you why. I mean, I imagine the reason for that is that it would take hours upon hours upon hours. But there are times when I wish that they'd be a bit more open to telling me why that I had to do things. I mean, I'm not going to stray from it. I'm still going to do what they say. But, there's just sometimes where it's just like, how much betadine should I use? Do I need to use a lot or a little? Is it safe to use a little? Is it more safe to use a lot? And a lot of this comes down to the fact that they only give you so much. They will apparently give you a damn near... I think I just got like an extra quarter of an inch of depth. They will apparently give you a whole heap of extra drugs. They are a limitless supply of drugs. But the supplies, if you run out of condoms, if you run out of lubricant, if you run out of the bed sheets, you have to get all that yourself. I'm not too fond of that. I don't agree with that. There's a lot of parts about this process that they're really good. They take great care of you. And comparative to other places, which I guess is the reason that they are the way they are, is that comparative to other places, porn is still the best in the world. I'll have a nurse check in on me at 11 o'clock, just to examine my vagina and make sure that I'm doing okay. And I don't think any other clinic in the world does that when you're a week out. I don't, that'll be happening until I leave. A month. That'll be happening for a full month until I leave. I don't think there's any other place that does anything like that. But even so, for the cost that you're paying, I don't expect anything less, and in fact expect more. But I don't know, maybe that's just me talking as someone who doesn't think, or I shouldn't throw shots at porn like that. I was gonna say as someone who doesn't think that anyone should be lining their pockets with the needs and misfortunes of trans people, but yeah, I shouldn't throw porn under the bus like that. Oh, we're 15 minutes in now, and I'm starting to get that burning. And that's the non-fun bit. You think when you're shoving 8 inches of whatever inside yourself, the painful part will be it burrowing through your insides, but it's actually not. That doesn't hurt too much. The painful part is usually more at the entrance. And in this case, like, just the orifice itself just starts to throb and get really cross with you. By the time you hit 15 minutes, it's like, alright, that's enough, right? No, that's enough. No, I said that's enough. So if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna put on some light music to try and distract myself. I might actually just end the call here, end the video here. Is there anything else I wanted to say? Just get out. That's the best advice I can give. You need to use your time very wisely, because surviving SRS here is a delicate mix of going out as often as possible to meet others, because as per usual within the trans community, a community will be your living and beating heart. You'll live by it and you will die by it. And finding like-minded people is essential. Like one of the girls that I met yesterday, and the same one that we ended up going to Central with. Before we went to Central, I was like, hey, I haven't dilated this morning yet. She was like, sure. Me being my I don't give a fuck self was like, do you want to just come and sit in my room while I dilate? She's like, oh yeah, sure. So, she's over there, like, opposite to where you, like, same side as where you guys are on the couch, and we're just chatting while I'm essentially fucking myself. It's fine. Find people who don't care. But, yeah, we're getting to the painful part. Do that, and what time is it? 9 o'clock. Dinner closes at 10:30. I really want dinner. Oh, breakfast. Yeah, it's a delicate balance of finding people that you can survive with, and kind of just like lying in bed. Just the more you rest, the less painful everything's going to be, the quicker it's going to heal, the quicker you can get stuff out. Like, currently I still have my stitches in on my inner labia. Stitches are still there, and I suspect that's actually causing quite a lot of the pain here. Like, just the pressure of them throbbing as I'm doing this. Because the pain feels a bit higher than the entrance itself. But I'm not sure about that, who knows. And it's also that I'm going too much. I shouldn't be being quite so firm with this. I'm an idiot. What can I say? I'm a size queen. But yeah, delicate balance. Find people who can help you and you can help. Put in, put out, but don't put out because you're not allowed to have sex for like 2 months. And yeah, my previous statement of don't come alone stands, but as you can see from what I'm doing, you need to bring someone who's okay with seeing you do this. Because, it's not a pretty process. Even, like, warning, like, the real gross stuff right now. When you're done with this and you do the syringe, and you have to actually insert the syringe into your vagina, obviously, and blow the water out, and you'll get chunks of skin that have just fallen away after the surgery process. Like, they're not big or anything, they're like that big, little bits. But there are some people who like are gonna see that and they're gonna run to the toilet to throw up. And you don't need to be looking after someone throwing up while you're going through the hardest fucking month of your life. I think that's about it. I've got 10 minutes to go, and talking is actually helping distract me a little bit, so maybe I'll just keep this video going for the whole time, we'll see. One problem I did run into is finding a USB dongle. I really wanted to find just a USB dongle with, 10 to 20 gigabytes of data loaded onto it to just stick in my laptop and watch some TV shows online with my friends, and it turned out damn near impossible. I wound up getting a prepaid SIM card instead with a company named DTAC, or DTAC, or whatever, DTAC. Use them if you can't find anything, but I'll ask around and see if I can find any better information. Oof, that burning. I'm really gotta ask what that is. I mean, I'm sure it's not. I've asked a few of the other girls, and they've said, yeah, there's a bit of burning now. That's pretty normal, but it's not pleasant. I accidentally had the air conditioner on last time I did this, and that made it a lot worse. Remember to turn the air conditioning off before you do this. You do not want cold air washing over what is essentially an exposed wound. It's not a fun time. If it was really cold air, maybe it would numb it or something, but there's no heat going on, so no, I just don't think you want that. Yeah. I've just realized it's 9 o'clock and I'm not going to make breakfast unless I skip the shower part. Fine, I'll skip the shower. Oh, I reckon I can shower in 10 minutes, yeah. I haven't brought any of my usual, showering ridiculous paraphernalia. I don't have my exfoliating gloves on me or my post-shower moisturizer. It's a much quicker procedure. Maybe I'll go down there with my hair in my towel bun, and people will probably just think I'm Muslim. Yeah, this place, it ain't so bad. It's not so rough. Find a way to get everything accessible on your bed. I had to do some weird extreme trip hazard setup to get my laptop onto my bed where it is right now. But it was worth it because now I can Skype with my friends and say hi to them. And I can watch anime with them, and yeah. Have your phone around. I'm actually going to turn on a bit of music because I think I need 2 levels of distraction right now. Straight onto System of a Down. Way to incriminate me, phone. What do we got? Oh, hell yeah. Let's get some Proto Man on there. I don't know how much you guys can hear that. I apologize if it overruns the stream. Stream? I've been noticing changes in my voice. My natural tone is shifting down, just the tiniest little bit, and I'm fucking happy about that. Normally when I talk to you guys, I use my natural voice because I just can't be fucked. And oh, that burning! Yeah, here it goes. Last 5 minutes. Normally alright, maybe I'm gonna skip this song, but it's really hard for me to not sing along to it. So good. So good. Everyone listen to the Proto Man. Also, Proto Man, pay me. Let's get something not sing-alongable. Can we get some, Oh yeah, there we go. That's good. I've completely lost my train of thought then. I will say this. You know, Sapon's one of probably the best surgeon in the world. There's a lot of very privileged trans girls here, and I just want to remind everyone. I feel like I'm the poorest, like, most out of place girl here, except for maybe there's another girl who's in a very similar boat to what I am. I want to remind you all, you do not need a boob job. You do not need facial surgery. You do not need, you know, butt injections and whatever other crazy shit that they do. If you want to get that stuff, all power to you. But, you know, a lot of the people here see it as a roadmap. And I know that, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about with that transgender roadmap bullshit. It's not. If you're a woman, then you're a woman. That's the end of the story. I'm getting a vagina because it's going to make my sex life better, and because it's going to make clothes and public, like, being in public easier. I'm not getting this because it makes me more of a woman. It doesn't make me more of a woman. It's a vagina. Fucking who cares? It's going to make me more of a woman according to cis people, and that's going to help me have one-night stands with stupid boys that I can use for their dicks. And, you know, it's going to help me not feel like a freak at the beach, but, like, I don't know if I've said this before. My plan is absolutely to buy a packer when I get enough money for it. A packer being something that trans men use to, you know, emulate the appearance of a bulge in their pants. I'm gonna buy a packer and I'm gonna wear that shit to the beach, and, you know, whenever I go out in somewhere that requires me to be near naked, about half the time probably, I think, because, you know, half the time I'm gonna be relaxing and just being like, oh, fitting in with those silly cis women, and the other half I'm gonna be wearing a packer. I'll be wearing a shirt that says "fucking deal with it," because I want to keep repping it. And it's honestly the biggest regret that I have from surgery is that I want to keep representing trans people who can't or don't have surgery, who can't or don't want to have surgery. You're still women. If you've still got big ass angular jaw like mine, you're still a woman. If you've still got a 5 o'clock shadow like I do, I don't know if you can see it too well, you're still a woman. If your fucking cup size is a goddamn 16A like mine is, and, like, you're being generous with yourself when you say that it's an A, that you can actually fill that, you're still a woman. That there is nothing that makes you not a woman. Nothing. And this doesn't make me a woman or more of a woman. It doesn't make me a real woman. Last minute. Like, no, this burning just set in. The burning just really started kicking my ass. Ooh. Oh, that's not a fun time. And yeah, I'm glad that I let the recording go for this long, because I can let you guys see that this hurts, but, like, waxing hurts. Electrolysis works. It hurts. Like, we're trans women. We've been through this. We're the strongest fucking people on the planet. Like, you can deal with this. If you want this, and you want this for you, not for society, you want this for you, you can fucking do it. Because it hurts. Oh, it hurts. But it just feels like waxing. It just feels like someone's pulling a strip of hot wax off my body. Oh. That's it. That's half an hour. Bam. Let this go. The pain, unfortunately, does not stop immediately, but, you know, that's whatever. Deep breaths. Removing it now, just by the way. And we done. That's it. Congratulations, you sat through dilation. If I can do it, you can too. I hope you didn't see that. I'm actually kind of shocked by the fact that there is no very little gunk on that. I was expecting quite a bit of gunk, given the keep bag beside your bed at all fucking times. Goddamn lubricant everywhere. Well, I hope this was a enlightening experience for you guys. I need to go have the other 2 segments that I told you about. So, you know how it goes, guys. Love and respect. Click the button.